to cell cycle. They keep on doing. We'll study cell cycle in cell biology part. Further, these divisible cells means meristematic cell can be divided in three categories on the basis of their position. We'll study them after this PPT. Apical meristem, lateral meristem, and intercalary meristem. Then further, there are the permanent tissues. So permanent tissues are those which are formed from the meristematic tissue, because they are formed from the meristematic tissue. After division, meristematic tissue forms the permanent tissue. These permanent tissues, they loses the capacity of division and perform a particular function. When a tissue start performing particular function, then these tissues are called differentiated tissue. We call this process differentiation, right? So this is differentiation, right? So the differentiation takes place. After that, we divide permanent tissue into two categories: simple tissue and complex tissue. So simple tissues, these permanent tissues which have lost their capacity of division. Simple tissues are those which are made up of same type of the cells, and complex tissues are those which are made up of more than one kind of the cells. Simple tissues can be further divided into parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma. And complex tissues which have lost the capacity of division, and they are made up of more than one type of the cell. They are of two types: xylem and phloem. Further, this is the composition of xylem and this is the composition of phloem, right? So that is the composition of xylem and phloem. So we will start with the meristematic, right? So first start writing what are the meristematic tissue, and I'll tell you what is the property of meristematic tissue, and I'll show you the diagram of this type of the meristematic tissue. So first we will add on meristematic . Look, meristematic tissues, they keep on dividing on the basis of their location. We have divided meristematic tissue in these categories. Look, apical meristematic tissue. So look, apical meristematic tissue, they are found in the shoot apical meristem, right? So they are found in the apex part of the shoot. And root apical, so they are found in both of the apex, means shoot apex and root apex, right? And they form the new part, right? So in shoot apex, they keep on forming new leaves, new birds, a flower. And in root apex, they keep on increasing the depth of root, right? Then there is an intercalary meristematic tissue, right? Intercalary, there is a term means intercalated, try to understand, right? Intercalated. There is a Latin term, intercalated. Intercalated means sandwich between two. Sandwich between two. What does it mean? Basically, these are the meristematic tissue which are found between two permanent tissue. Look, they are found in the node of, like you must have seen the bamboo. So they are found in the bamboo, right? You must have seen sugarcane. So they are, these meristematic tissue are sandwiched between two permanent tissue, right? Two permanent. Look, so you can understand these intercalary meristem, they are found between the two permanent tissue. That's why we call them intercalary, right? Lateral meristem. Basically, why they are called lateral meristem? They increase the lateral growth of the stem, right? What does it mean? It means they increase the girth of the stem. Means they increase the thickness of this. Means they are responsible for lateral growth, right? Lateral growth. Fine. So that's why they are called lateral meristematic. So on the basis of their location, we have divided meristematic tissue into these three. Hope it should be clear to all of you, right? Now, what we need to know, we need to know the property of some property of meristematic, right? Characteristic of meristematic. So please note it down. Put the heading meristematic tissue. Meristematic and their characteristic. So first characteristic. So please note down meristematic tissue are simple tissues composed of meristematic tissues are simple tissue composed of a group of similar and immature similar and immature cells which can divide which can divide which can divide and form which can divide and form new cells. Full stop. Next point. Now the correct. This was the definition. Now the characteristic. First, they are small and immature cells. They are small and immature cells. Shape may be their shape may be isodiametric, round, oval, or polygonal. Oval or polygonal. Their cytoplasm is, this is very important, their cytoplasm is dense. This is also important for your NEET examination. I have seen a question. Which of the following is not a characteristic of this one? A meristematic, that kind of question I have seen that. Right? Cytoplasm is dense. Crystals are absent. Crystals are absent. Basically, crystals are the property of plant cell. And the crystals of magnesium, calcium, they are found in the suspended condition in the plant cells. These are called sclerites, right? So these sclerite crystals, they are found over there. We'll study this thing in, sorry, they are called cell infusion. I'm sorry, they are called cell infusions, right? And these crystals. So this is the property of a plant cell, and we'll study this thing in detail in cell biology part. Till the time I have told you that the crystals means crystal of calcium, magnesium, and some minerals. They are found in the plant cell. They are not found in the animal cell. That is a property of plant cell, right? Next one. Proplastids, that is immature plastids are found. Plastids are present. Next one, rate of respiration means food burning. Rate of respiration is very high. Is very high. So these are the property of meristmatic. Clear? Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Let me check with the NCERT as well. Fine. Primary meristem. So further we can divide. It is given in your NCERT. So further, the meristematic cells can be, or meristematic tissue can be divided into two categories, right? So please note it down. Depending on their origin, depending on their origin, meristems are meristem are of two types. Right? This is basis of the origin. First, two type: primary meristem and secondary meristem. Primary meristem and secondary meristem. Right. So what is the primary meristem? What is the secondary meristem? So first one, that is the primary meristem. Primary meristem. Please note down what are the primary meristem. Primary meristem, they are present in the plant since the birth of the plant. Right. Please note down. They are derived. They are derived directly from. They are derived directly from the meristem of embryo. Meristem of embryo. Meristem of embryo means these are the tissues which are found, meristematic tissue, which are present in the plant since the birth of the plant, right? Depending on their position, depending on their position, they can be, depending on their position, they are divided into three categories, right? So these are the meristematic tissue which are present in a plant since birth, right? On the basis of their position, we divide them into three category or three parts, right? So they are apical meristem, which we have seen in the above, and I explained that apical, then the intercalary, then lateral. Okay. So depending on their position, they can be further divided into three categories. Is that clear? Now, secondary meristem, I will tell you what are the secondary meristem. So please note it down, the apical meristem. So first subheading, so these are the apical, intercalary, and lateral meristem. Is that clear till this point? All of you, Alia, Martin.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Siddhika. Fine.
Yes, sir.
Great. So first subheading is, that is the apical meristem. apical meristem. This is very important. You can put the important note over here. These meristematic tissues, the apical, intercalary, and lateral. These three are important for your school examination. They'll be, if they'll ask you the complete meristematic tissue, then that will be a long answer. That may be 4 marker or 5 marker. But if they are asking for the apical, intercalary, or lateral individually, that will be 2 marker question, right? So this is important for the short as well as long answer, right? Most probably, this is they'll ask you as a short answer, right? As a short answer. Clear? But it is very important. So apical meristem, first one. Note down. Apical meristem, they are present. They are present at the tip of stem, root, and their branches. So in the nutshell, practically, I would like to say that they are found everywhere where the new part are being added or formation of new plant part is taking place, right? So there is the apical meristematic tissues, they are formed, right? And they produce growth in length. Next point, they produce growth in length, right? That is the apical meristem. Clear?
Yes, sir.
One more important thing I want to add on over here. Some cells of, this is important for your NEET exam as well. Some cells of shoot apical meristem, apical meristem are left behind during formation of leaf, and elongation of stem. They constitute auxiliary bud. They constitute auxiliary bud. Is that clear or not? Tell me. If it's clear, tell me. If it's not clear, let me know. I'll tell you what is the auxiliary bud. Do you have idea about the auxiliary bud? Tell me, guys. No? Alia, do you know what are the auxiliary buds? Nobody.
Sir, I've heard about it, but I forgot what it is.
Okay, fine. No issue. This is important, right? Because they can ask you what are the auxiliary buds. I'll show you the diagram as well. Let me add the diagram. Auxiliary. Basically, branches and leaves, they all arise from the auxiliary bud. So let me. Uh, so at the top there you'll find that in every plant at the top there are terminal buds, right? Sometimes terminal bud stop the growth of the plant, right? Terminal bud are found at the apex. So, but during this growth, so growth is taking place like this. So meristematic growth, sometimes these tissues are left here, right? Where? Like here. So they form auxiliary bud. Auxiliary bud always found between the axial position. What is the axial position? This is the axial position, right? Between the auxiliary bud, they are always found between the stem and branch, right? So between the stem and branch, the position is called axial position, and there the auxiliary buds are found. These auxiliary buds are basically derived from, or they are directly formed from the apical meristem. Now, is it clear? Terminal bud is found at the top. So terminal bud, they add on the top part, they add on the top growth, right? They increase the length of the branch, they increase the length of the stem, right? Sometime terminal bud converted into flower. When terminal bud will convert into flower, then the growth of the plant will stop. Is that clear or not? Tell me. Clear?
Yes.
Great. Right. So this was the axillary bud. An axillary bud is directly formed from the I have dictated. So now come to the okay. So apical meristem that's done, and then we have to do intercalary. Okay. So next part is intercalary meristem. Put the heading intercalary meristem. Second, B part. Intercalary meristem. So basically, the intercalary meristem, I have told you that is the intercalated means sandwich between two. So these are the tissues which are found between two common ends, right? And basically, they increase the length of the horizontal length, means they increase the length of the branches. So please note down. Intercalary meristem are commonly found are commonly found at the base of leaves, right? Base of leaf, above node, below node, above node, below node, full stop. They are also derived from apical meristem, right? So they are also derived from the apical meristem. They help in elongation of organ, or means that organ may be fruit, that organ may be stem, that organ, that whatever the organ is. So that is their function, right? And intercalary meristem, and we have already discussed the intercalary meristem. Intercalated means, so this is the note. One more thing I want to tell you, like if you try to break down the sugar cane, it will break from the node only. Why? Because the node, if you try to break down the maize, right? If you try to pull the grass, right? Grass will always break down at the node. Bamboo will always break down from the node. Sugar cane will always break down from the node. Why? Because these node have the meristematic cells, and meristematic cells have the very soft kind of the cell. So they generally break down from the node. Clear? So that is the reason behind, right? Everything have reason at its reason. So intercalary meristem, that is intercalated meristem. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sorry.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So then lateral meristem. Lateral meristem. Lateral meristem we will again study when we will study the secondary growth. Secondary growth is the most important question of this chapter after this, right? Not after this one, before. The most you will ask me the single most important question in this chapter for your school examination, right? That will be the secondary growth. That is the most frequently asked question. What is the secondary growth? Or they can ask you that show the process of secondary growth or represent the process of secondary growth with the help of diagram, and that will be a full-fledged 5-marker question, right? Then this meristmatic tissue, the most frequently asked question. Lateral meristem. The meristem that occurs on the site, that occurs on the site and takes part in increasing girth of the plant. Girth of the plant. They are responsible for secondary growth of root and stem. Secondary growth, that is increasing thickness. Right? Secondary growth of stem and root. Okay. So they are responsible for increasing the girth of the stem and root. Is that clear? So these all three were the part of the what? The primary meristem, right? So A, apical meristem. So they are the primary meristem. Then come to the secondary meristem. So primary meristem, I have already explained. Primary meristems are found only at the when the since the birth of the plant, means because they have been derived from the meristematic part which are found in the embryo. Now, what about the secondary meristem? Secondary meristems, they are basically not from the either they are from the primary meristem, they are the product of primary meristem, or sometime what happened, permanent cells, sometime what happened, the permanent cells regain the property of division, right? So sometime permanent cell regain the property of division, and that's how they form the secondary meristem. That's why we call them secondary, not the primary. Clear? So the second
Yes,
one
sir.
is secondary meristem. The meristem formed formed secondarily from permanent tissue, from permanent tissue. Some permanent tissue, some permanent tissue acquire the power of division or regain the power of division, power of with a reason. The phenomena is called, this phenomena is called de-differentiation. De-differentiation. This is the reverse process of differentiation. De-differentiation, right? Try to understand what exactly I want to say or what exactly this definition wants to say. I will explain it more clear. So, suppose that, not suppose that. Basically, this happened actually. This is the system. Okay? The system have some vascular bundle. Try to understand, and if you did not get it, I will tell you again. But for sake of now, try to understand this. So these are the vascular bundle. Means what I- this is the stem. Inside stem, this is vascular bundle. Right? This is the vascular bundle. Between the vascular bundle, every vascular, what is the vascular bundle? Xylem and phloem. Try to understand me. This is the xylem part. Xylem which conduct the water, and this is the phloem part which conduct the food. Phloem. They are the pipeline which conduct the food and water. So between these vascular bundles, so collectively xylem and phloem, they are called vascular bundle. Collectively, they are called vascular bundle. So between the vascular bundle, there are some tissues, right? These tissues, which I have represented with the help of dash dash, right? These, they are called, they are basically primary meristem. They are primary meristem, right? What is the name of this primary meristem? Primary meristem means they are present since the birth of the plant, right? So they are called intrafascicular ganglia. Intra, don't get into panic if you are unable to get it, right? Like completely. Intrafascicular ganglia. Fascicular ganglia. So this basically they are the divisible cells, they will divide, right? But here the cells which are present, this white color, they are the ground tissue, means they are the permanent cell. They are the permanent cell. Permanent cells means they cannot divide this ground. What happened at the time of the maturity when plant have to divide, the time when plant have to divide, what will happen? There are some cells, right? There are some cells.
Sentence so that right.
Yeah. Just a minute. There is a problem in changing the pen. When I change the color, pen color, there is some bug. Uh, these cells, right? These cells, they regain the property of division. These cells, the cells which are the permanent, they are permanent cells. So here, the permanent cell regain the property of division. property of division. When? At the time of when they want to increase their girth, they have to increase their thickness, right? So this process of regaining the property of division is called de-differentiation. De-differentiation, right? And these are, what is the name of these tissues? They are called interfascicular cambium. Interfascicular cambium. So interfascicular cambium is formed after the de-differentiation process. They are called secondary tissue or secondary meristematic or secondary meristem, right? So the meristem form secondarily from the permanent tissue. Some permanent tissue regain the power of division. This phenomena is called de-differentiation, and these kind of the tissues are called secondary. Is it clear or not? Tell me frankly,
Yes,
is that
sir.
clear? So please draw this diagram right now. What I have drawn, draw as it is, copy as it is. Let me know after drawing this diagram, and then I will start with the permanent. Done? Noted down?
1 second, sir.
Yeah.
Done, sir.
Okay. Martin, done?
Yes,
Everybody
sir.
note it down? Okay, fine. So this was the secondary meristematic tissue. Now come to the permanent tissue. Let's talk about the permanent. Now look how the permanent tissue are being formed. Let me first explain you in my way, simple way. Then technically I'll tell you how the permanent tissues are formed. Suppose that there is a meristematic. This is a it's a simple meristematic. This meristematic cell will divide by simple division. Simple division. When I say simple division, it means I am talking about the mitosis. The cell will divide into two parts. The cell will divide into two parts. One cell, these both are meristematic cell, right? Both are capable of division. Two, so meristematic cell. Two, daughter meristematic cell. Out of this, one cell, it will remain meristematic. Remain meristematic means it will keep on dividing. Keep on dividing. Keep on dividing. What will happen with the next cell? Second. This second cell, this will uh, become permanent, become mature, and opt particular function. Opt particular function. This process of opting particular function is called differentiation. Means differentiation of cell takes place. Right? Cell takes place. This differentiated cell, it becomes permanent or permanent. So finally, the formation of permanent tissue takes place from the meristematic tissue only or meristematic cell. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So please start writing now. First, please write down like this. This thing. Done?
No, I'm not done.
Done? Note it down. Alia, note it down. Siddhika,
Yes, sir.
done?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now what are the permanent issues, right? So let me explain what are the permanent. Just so permanent. Permanent. What are their characteristics? What are the permanent issues? That we need to note down. They are those tissues in which cells have lost the capacity to divide and have attained permanent shape, size, and function. Permanent shape, size, permanent shape, size, and function. That means differentiation, which we have represented above. Due to differentiation. Okay. On the basis of composition, permanent tissue can be of two types. Permanent tissues can be of two types. What are those types? We have already discussed in the tissue classification that permanent tissues can be divided into two ways: simple permanent tissue, and complex permanent. As I have already told you that simple permanent tissues are those which are made up of only one type of it. Means they are made up of similar kind of the cells, but they are made up of only one kind of cells. But in complex permanent tissues, they are made up of more than one kind of cells. Right. First, we will talk about the simple permanent. So first heading is simple permanent. They are made up of similar permanent cells, that carry out the same function. Or similar set of functions, right? So these simple permanent tissue can be divided into further three categories, right? So first, let me show you what are the division of classification of the simple permanent. Complex permanent. Yes. Simple permanent. Right. Fine. So this is they are the simple permanent. Further, simple permanent tissue can be divided into three categories. First, parenchymatous tissue. Second, parenchymatous tissue. Third, sclerenchymatous. Right. Look. First, I will tell you here roughly. Then I will let you note it down and explain more clearly. Look. So, what is the function They are these all three have the different functions. So basically, you can see. Let me make it a bit more large. Large. Now it should be visible to you. You can see this parenchymatous tissue here. In parenchymatous tissue, they are found in potato. So there are large intercellular spaces between the cells. Spaces are present over there, right? They are the basically air spaces are found, and these are also found in the leaves as well, right? So that is the cross section, right? You can see they are a bit circular kind of the, right? They have thin primary cell wall. So their primary cell wall, the main important thing, that is a thin cell wall, right? Cell wall is thin. They have the nucleus is present, cytoplasm is present, starch. Vacuoles are the larger vacuole. They have the larger vacuole. This is the longitudinal and this is the cross section. So that is the parenchymatous tissue. What is the main purpose of parenchymatous tissue? So basically, if you'll see that what is the main purpose of or what is the main function of primary permanent tissue or parenchymatous tissue, their main function is storage, right? They are meant for the storage of food. They store something, right? If you will ask for the collenchyma tissue, so collenchyma tissue, they are found like this way in some plants. So look, where the collenchyma tissue, if you will see that a papaya stem, papaya stem is a non-woody stem. It's not made up of wood, right? You'll see that is not made up of wood. Like in the same with the sugarcane, and the same with the that maize, right? They all are made up of collenchyma. So collenchyma tissue, they are non-woody tissue, but they provide support. They provide this strength. They are the mechanical tissue, right? And even sometimes they perform the photosynthesis. Look, this is the cross section. Here you will see there is a no space between the cells, right? Intercellular space is not found, right? So intercellular space is not found. Here, the primary wall is thickened, right? This is the thick primary wall. So this thick primary wall or thickening of the primary wall. This you can say thickening of primary wall. This basically primary wall get thickened due to formation of cellulose. So this cellulose thickening, right? So cellulose thickening. Cellulose thickening, that is due to deposition of cellulose, they become harder, right? They are the longest. So what is their purpose? They are basically mechanical. Mechanical means they provide the strength to non-woody strength, right? We will discuss it in clear. Right now, I am just explaining you so that you get what are these tissues. Last but not least is sclerenchyma tissue. Sclerenchyma tissue, basically, they are the meant for formation of the wood, right? So this is the cross section. They have the thick secondary wall, means secondary wall developed, thin primary cell wall, right? Thin primary wall, and mostly these sclerenchyma tissue, they are dead one, right? They are the dead. They are made up of dead cells. Dead cells at maturity. Initially, they are not dead, right? At maturity, they become dead. And what? They are mechanical tissue. Only and only their function is mechanical tissue. What sort of the mechanical tissue? Like they are responsible for wood formation, right? Wood and fiber formation. So wood and fiber formation. Fiber formation. What kind of the fiber? Like jute, right? Takes place from these two. So these are the type of the permanent tissue. Parenchyma, collenchyma, is sclerenchyma. Parenchyma is storage tissue, collenchyma is mechanical tissue, sclerenchyma is mechanical. Parenchyma and collenchyma are living cells, right? They are the living tissue. Living tissue are made up of living cells. They are the living cells or living tissue. Tell me, guys, is it clear or not? Alia, Martin, Sidika, is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So we will study one by one, right? You have to draw after the class, right? Write it down. You have to draw the diagram after the class, because when you will be asked in your school, then you have to write it down with diagram, right? So you have to write it down. You have to draw the diagram, but not right now because it will be the wastage of the time, right? So let's start with the parenchyma. So put the head in parenchyma. So first one is A. parenchyma. Parenchyma. They are made up of made up of thin-walled similar isodimetric cell. Isodimetric. The cells which have almost same diameter. Isodimetric. The next point is very important. It is most abundant and common tissue in the plant. It is most abundant and common tissue in plant. Next one. The cells may be oval, rounded, or polygonal in shape. Next one. The cell wall is made up of cellulose. Is made up of cellulose. The cells have intercellular space. The cells have intercellular spaces. Right? So intercellular spaces are formed for exchange of gases, right? Spaces for exchange of gases. Next one. They have large central vacuole and peripheral nucleus with cytoplasm. Basically, nucleus become peripheral and cytoplasm become peripheral. You can see because when the vacuole enlarges, you can see this is the vacuole. This is the vacuole. When vacuole increases its shape, then at the maturity, then vacuole push the protoplasm and the nucleus in the plant cell at the peripheral part, right? So this is the property of the parenchyma cell, right? And their main function is storage of food and slow conduction. Their function is storage of food and slow conduction of various substances. Please note it down. Is that, and tell me, is it clear or not? If you have a doubt in any point, please let me know. Then we will go to next. Is that clear? Martin,
Yes, sir.
note it down.
Last point can I have?
Their function is storage of food and slow conduction of various substances. Alia, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What is the parenchyma tissue? What are the parenchyma tissues? What are the meristmatic tissue? These all are 2-marker question for your school examination. There, and whenever they will ask you, you have to draw the diagram to get the good mark. Even they can ask you to draw the well-labeled diagram and explain it. Else, if they are not asking for you, if they are asking for you that please describe the parenchymatous tissue, then you have to draw the diagram. Next one is this one, parenchyma tissue, right? So the second one is that is parenchyma. Now, what are the colon? Look, in parenchyma tissue, what happened? So suppose that this is a tissue, and tissue is made up of, so that this is tissue. Between these cells, deposition of some material takes place at the joint, right junction, and this is the thickening, right? It give them strength, right? This is the thickening of cellulose. So deposition of cellulose takes place and thickening of cellulose takes place, and at the corner. Okay. So thickening of cellulose takes place at the corner, right? So this is the it provides this strength. So that is the property of at every corner there will be thickening of at this point there will be thickening of cellulose, right? Cellulose deposition takes place. It provides them strength, right? That's why they become stronger. It makes them stronger. Here the thickening will take place, right? So at every joint the thickening will take place. This one, thickening of cellulose takes place. It provides them strength, right? Uh, the cells are often elongated, elongated. They are circular over. They are circular, oval, or angular in cross section. Each shell possess a large central vacuole vacuole, and peripheral cytoplasm. And peripheral cytoplasm. Often, chloroplasts are present. Hence, they are green. Green, so they appear green in color and photosynthetic. They are green and photosynthetic. Right. So they perform photosynthesis, and they often they are and they have the one more important thing which is left, that is they possess pectocellulosic thickening. They possess pectocellulosic thickening at corners, which provide them strength. So this pectocellulosic thickening, it provides them strength. That's why they are the strong one, right? And their main function, what is their function? I have told you, they provide mechanical strength to young dicot stem. They provide mechanical strength to young dicot stem. Young dicot stem. Petiole means leaf base and leaf. So this is all about the parenchyma. Please note it down. Next class we will start from the sclerenchyma. Go through with this one, whatever I have explained today, and let me know if you have any doubt.
Right answer.
Done? Okay, so that's it for the day. And in the next class, we'll start from the sclerenchyma onward.
One
Sclerenchyma.
second,
Yeah.
sir, I'm not done.
Sorry?
I'm not done, sir. One
Yeah,
second,
please,
please.
note it
Sir,
down.
remove the
Note it
screen.
down. No issue.
Done, sir.
Done? Okay. So next class, we'll start from here onward. And again, I have a request to you, that every time I start the class, nobody joins us. Nobody. And I ask my team to please invite all of you to join the class. So please remember the class timing and remember the class join at the time, right? Don't wait for anyone to ping you, don't wait for anyone to call you, don't wait for anyone to like drop a message to you. You must be there at sharp at this time only. Like, what is the class timing? Tuesday, Thursday, that is the biology class time, right? So I expect next class, I need not to drop. I wait for the 5 minutes.